The office administration program at Sioux College did their part in giving back to the community with their event End Hunger Games. It's a play on words of the famous book series, of course, as well as a new spin on the St. Vincent Place fundraiser from earlier this year. Students organized a themed game day with team building competitions and Hunger Games themed food. The event was attended by children and adults alike.
Our office administrative students, this is a final project for our event management class. So what we're doing essentially is we wanted to give back to the community, and we thought what would be better than to do a local charity, the St. Vincent. So we are donating all our cans to St. Vincent. And how it started off actually just as a Facebook group, just to bring it out there, see what we could do. And then 100.5 was very generous and actually contacted us and asked us if we wanted to have it up there and for them to promote it. And we were more than welcome, and we were very thankful that they wanted to, and it was a great turnout. It was a contact that we knew. My mom actually knew Sarah. She's excellent, she's wonderful, and she was awesome to work with, and she was very generous, and we're just so thankful to give back to the community. Right now we are actually doing team building events. It's actually called End Hunger Games, so it's a whole bunch of games, and we were appreciative that everyone brought cans if they could, or non-perishable items, to donate to St. Vincent. And all the games are based off certain Hunger Games and all the food. So we have hula hoops, and you have to shoot an arrow through it. It's just a lot of fun. St. Vincent is super excited, and they would love to have anyone just drop by and bring anything they could. I feel like it's a cause that kind of goes unnoticed sometimes. They actually help out with the soup kitchen, they help out with quite a few things, so it kind of intertwines with quite a few different organizations all into one.
The tribunal that adjudicates asylum claims in Canada says that cuts to legal aid funding imposed by the Doug Ford government in Ontario will lead to delays and other disruptions of refugee hearings. The Immigration and Refugee Board has issued a notice saying the 30% cut in funding announced in April to Legal Aid Ontario will affect the board's operations due to an unexpected rise in the number of refugee claimants who don't have lawyers. The notice also states that the IRB expects these impacts will include longer hearings, more postponements and adjournments, and more missed deadlines on the part of unrepresented individuals. The Ontario Progressive Conservative government announced the funding reduction as part of a series of cost-cutting measures in its spring budget. The legal aid cuts included an elimination of funding for refugee and immigration law services. Refugee lawyers have denounced the move, calling it a horrific reduction in services that will hurt an already vulnerable population.
These comments from the White House are disgraceful and disgusting, and the comments are racist.
The Democratic-led U.S. House of Representatives yesterday voted to condemn President Donald Trump's racist comments against 4 congresswomen of color. But it certainly wasn't easy. A dramatic controversy erupted on the House floor over Republican objections to Speaker Nancy Pelosi's remarks criticizing President Donald Trump's tweets, resulting in a lawmaker abandoning the chair and storming off.
Demand that the words be taken down.
Go ahead. I request that the gentlewoman's words are unparliamentary and request that they be taken down.
But we don't ever want to pass up, it seems, an opportunity to escalate. And that's what this is. I'll dare anybody to look at any of the footage and see if there was any unfairness. But unfairness is not enough, because we want to just fight. I abandon the chair.
Meanwhile, Senator and presidential candidate Kamala Harris says she's personally been told go back to where you came from. The California Democrat in Iowa had an angry response to President Trump's recent tweet about 4 Democratic congresswomen.
And back to my earlier point, instead of understanding that the greatest power and strength you can ever show, express, or display is to lift people up, he uses it to beat people down, to belittle people, to bully people, to diminish people. And as far as I'm concerned, he's a coward. He's a coward and he's a bully. And he is an embarrassment.
About 20 PETA protesters carried signs and some wore cardboard horse face masks. And that was all at the Alberta legislature yesterday, urging the province to shut down the Calgary Stampede chuck wagon races. The group of people for the ethical treatment of animals says that the horses are being abused and racing them is cruel. 6 horses were killed at this year's Stampede, the most in almost a decade.
We're here today to urge the Alberta Premier to immediately direct the Calgary Stampede to ban chuck wagon races from all future events to prevent horses from dying in these cruel and archaic events. And PETA is also asking the public to never attend events that use animals. The Premier could help urge the Calgary Stampede to ban these archaic events. 6 horses died this weekend. That's the single most amount of deaths in nearly a decade in a single stampede.